Hello and welcome to a short feature on Birmingham wildlife. As I expect you know, some of the best things in life are right under our noses. Take for example the hedge sparrow or dunnock, which you'll see flirting around with jerky wing movements in spring, but it is with us all year round singing its sweedle-deedle-deedle song, which cheers us all up. Another bird that we know is the garden blackbird. I believe it's one of nature's best kept secrets. And if you get up very early in the morning, you'll hear the entire street come alive with its music. Now I'm going to read a poem, which I wrote several years ago, as I got up in the early hours to go to the lavatory. And I opened a window and I heard wonderful sounds. I'm going to read the poem. Synchronization of musical sounds, reverberating steadily in perfect time, echoing acoustically over and over, the reciprocated calls blend and rhyme. Beyond our houses, in the streets and over Birmingham, if you look out the window you may be able to see peregrine falcons. These fly around 50 miles an hour. That's twice as fast as the swifts that come screeching down our streets in summer. They can actually dive at over 200 miles an hour. But our commoner birds are often becoming less common. And one of these is the starling, which is now on the endangered red list. It used to black out the sun in its millions years ago, and now it's in serious decline. Why is this? Because many of our birds are insect eaters, and the insect population has plummeted over the last several decades. What can we do about it? Well, if we've got a garden, we can do things like leaving the hedge cutting till after summer when the birds have finished nesting. Or if we don't have a garden, we can support our local council and wildlife trust. Well, we've just seen a great tit on the bird feeder. It's like the blue tit, but it's bold and pugnacious, and it's got a bold black stripe down its front. It's got a wonderful springtime call. Teacher, teacher is its call, and I just absolutely love it. It's an insect eater like all the birds we've really been speaking about, but I'm now going to talk about some of the more common city living birds like the house sparrow, which eats seeds and grains. They used to raid farmers' fields in their hundreds and were quite unpopular really, but they stole the hearts of many who liked them on account of their cheeky and bold character, and caged them and transported them to America. But in the UK, in the last 50 years, their population has fallen by 2/3. I think it's really on account of farming and air pollution. However, in the city, you'll see plenty of sparrows, believe me. There's another bird I want to talk about that's become very common in the town centre, in the city centre, is the wood pigeon. It's got a white dog collar around its neck. It's actually public enemy number one amongst farmers because it eats so much grain and also vegetable matter. But I just love its soft cooing call. It's a 5-syllable coo. Cuckoo, coo, cuckoo. And its rather lazy manner is absolutely quite relaxing. Time for one more quickly that you'll see in the city is the magpie. It's black and white, long tail, and makes a hard chattering sound. And it's become quite a nuisance really because it steals other birds' eggs. But it's also quite admired because if you look closely, you'll find its feathers shine green and purple in sunlight. And it's also been able to learn many words and become tamed. It's also got an interesting dome-shaped nest. So, I rather like the magpie as well. All these birds can be seen and heard any time of day, whether from your flat or out exercising. And but often in the early morning when it's quieter, you'll be able to more easily see and hear them. Here's some of my favourite bird books, and some of the birds we've just been speaking about. This is the hedge sparrow with its bluish head. It's rather a drab bird, but it flutters around the garden doing these beautiful displays. Another bird we spoke about is the blackbird. And here it is with the male bird is black and the female bird is brown. The starling we also mentioned comes in a variety of colours and spots. You'll often see it singing on chimneys. So these birds you'll often see in our hedges and up on trees, telegraph wires, and just as in your daily walk or looking out the window, and you'll see many more like them. Well, birds like mature hedges like this where they can hide and get shelter and build nests. Or they like tall trees which you could leave at the back of the garden for them to sing their territorial songs from. We have a dovecote here where some birds might like to nest, or ivy growing up trees which produces the perfect sites. We also have a bird feeder here which helps them get through the winter, especially if it's a harsh one. There are many other things we can do as well. We have a compost heap at the back of the garden. This helps hibernating hedgehogs and also birds looking for small insects. Okay, so this isn't the perfect garden. In fact, it would be nice to leave part of our garden as long grass and cut it once a year and pick up the cuttings. And this will, over time, create wildflowers, which are of enormous benefit to insects and birds. I believe this COVID crisis is giving wildlife a lot of space, and in due course we'll reap huge benefits with our health and well-being when we have an improved contact with nature. We hope you've enjoyed watching this informative video, and last thing I want to say is thank you for watching.